Hey, ARESxGOD here, and I just wanted to make this video to shed some light on some anime which I think are underrated for whatever reasons, or some people dismiss them, they overheard something, they took it at face value, just judging a book by its cover, or hey, maybe you never heard about this anime, and I just want more people to check them out, give a short description on why you should watch them. I'm gonna keep spoilers very minimum, just covering some surface levels, and I feel like a lot of them are underestimated, especially one which has a reputation of being one thing but offers a lot more than at face value. These are just some of them, not all of the series I think are underrated. I think I do videos way too long, so I wanted to cut down a bit on the durations. So yeah, let's check out some series which I hope you guys are gonna try out. The first one has to be Golden Kamuy, which I'm angry because a lot of people dropped it thanks to that fucking CGI bear. I hate that bear so much. This is such an amazing series, and a lot of people dismissed it after the first few episodes. I hate CGI bear. Stay with me. This series is one of the very few that can blend so many things together: action, characters, plot, comedy. Especially the comedy is gonna have you dying, and JoJo fans are gay, but Golden Kamuy can make you even gayer. I'm gonna say it right now. This series is insane. Some of the ridiculous things that happen in this series. It has probably one of the best anime fights in history. Nothing even comes close to it. You're gonna understand that when you get there. They're just outlandish stories and things that happen here. Searching for this gold of the Ainu people and the culture, the food. Pays attention to so much detail. The action is there, so many variations, this diversity of characters. I'm hooked with this series, and I do hope a lot more people try it out. If you haven't tried Golden Kamuy out, please give it a chance and say it with me: fuck CGI bear. I have to say this series came as a surprise. I didn't expect it to be this fun. Akudama Drive. If you like heists and battle royales in a way, with a big cast of characters going after an objective and clashing with other characters. I'm trying to be very vague with spoilers here. Such a fun series, great soundtrack also, especially the themes of the individual characters. Great character designs, one of the strongest points for it. Also has an ending, pretty good ending if I do say so myself. It reminds me a bit of Cyberpunk Edge Runners in some ways, so if you enjoyed that one, probably going to like Akudama Drive. So check it out and let me know what you think about this one. Do you like mechs and mechs fighting with monsters, and also an interesting plot? It's not gonna be the best series ever, but I love Heroic Age, and I know I from some time to time I rewatch it. It's really fun, kind of like a space opera a bit. Conclusion to it, would I like more? Yes, I actually do like the universe quite a lot. It's an older series, but I think a lot of people should check it out, especially like I said, you're into mechs, wars, politics, and something more in between, so to say. I like the concept of the nodos that they have there, everything that they signify, what they do. It's not gonna be your 10 out of 10 series, but not everything needs to be 10 out of 10. But hey, maybe for you it's gonna hit that tone, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about Heroic Age in general, so hey, maybe try it out. I miss mobster anime, and I highly recommend 91 Days. Revenge stories focused around mobsters and everything that entails, and during the prohibition. I love this time period, especially this is why I love Bakano or Hitman Reborn, a lot of the mobster focused anime. Gangster also, unfortunately that one didn't get a sequel, but 91 Days, such an amazing short story, has a conclusion, very interesting ending. I'm really curious if you guys actually watched it, or when you're going to watch it, what do you think about the ending? I think it's a really good ending for the series, but I do wish we had more mobsters shows, and this one is one of the better ones. So check out 91 Days if you're in the mood for a revenge mobster story. Do you like boxing? Then you should be watching Megalo Box. It's very close to Ashtan or Joe of tomorrow. But this one is a such an amazing series. Season 1 is very focused on the box aspect to it. The music, the soundtrack to it is insane. The art style, I love it so much. But also after that, season 2 kind of shifts the tone a bit, and I do think season 1 hits very hard emotionally. Not a lot of anime series do this. It's great. 2 seasons, it's gonna hit you very hard at some points. The fighting, the characters, the lessons into it, and I don't think a lot of people are talking about Megalo Box, and it has one of the best soundtracks, Hispanic touch to it, if you enjoy that sort of thing. And would I wish more seasons for it? Maybe in the same universe, but I feel like these characters have had their story. But I like the world quite a lot, and Megalo Box, it's one of the underrated series. It's sports anime, but also more character driven than your typical sports, focusing on tournaments, teams, and so on. So if you haven't watched Megalo Box, give it a chance, you can't go wrong. Have you watched Squid Game? If yes, then go watch this series also, Kaiji. It's the better version of Squid Games, anime style. Kaiji Ultimate Survivor. This series is the definition of an addict, what they would do, and how they fuck up their lives, how they get out of it, how they fuck it up again. Kaiji is so fun, the mind games, all of the bets, all of the stakes that happen in this series. It's very similar to Kakegurui, the horny version of this one, but it's better on the betting aspects. And if you wanna see somebody make all of the wrong choices, the correct choices, and anything in between, fuck up, go down, get back up, rinse and repeat, and do it again, then Kaiji is the series for you. This is an older series, K Project, and a lot of people, I don't think they even heard of it. Probably the strongest aspect to it is its color scheme, the atmosphere, how it looks, but I also like the world, the power system, the gangs there, Homura, the colors, how it's based with each of them having that. I'm really trying to talk without spoilers and give it a proper description, but just looks so good, and it's actually very, very solid. Also the content for it, don't expect the biggest greatness, but I still highly recommend K Projects, the seasons, its movies, and I'm really curious which characters would be your favorites, and which gangs would you join if you had the chance there. This I feel like this anime would probably be a lot more popular if it aired recently. It has that something that you can't place your finger on it, and it kept me watching more and more with K Project. This anime has a reputation, and a lot of people dodge it because of that. High School DxD. It's very horny, very ecchi, which all of that is true, but I think a lot of people just judge it by that. It's only horny, it's only ecchi, but while it's both of those, I came for the plot, then I stayed for the actual plot, because while it has all of those, it also has an amazing world. Like, the world building is so good in this series, the characters, the power system there, the plot is also very intriguing. And I didn't expect it to be this well. The fights are really fun, and why not? If you like hot girls, why wouldn't you watch High School DxD and get some both sides of the plot coin, so to say? But the reputation is for this one is always gonna go with it, and also the main studio that did it, they fucked up a bit with season 3. That's why they changed for season 4 the studio and the art style to be closer to the light novels. I really want a season 5. I love the universe of High School DxD. If you like angels, demons, mythical creatures, fighting, and hot girls, and if you're okay with ecchi, very heavy ecchi fan service, you should try High School DxD if you haven't. And I want to have 2 series here, Black Lagoon and Jormungand. Highly recommend both series if you want something more realistic, but also very dark at the same time, with mercenaries, selling weapons, buying weapons, fighting each other, gangs, war, and it's very down to earth in some cases. There's no superpowers and things like that. Of course, some things are exaggerated, why not? But they're really, really fun series, and I highly recommend both of them so much, and even the English dub, especially for Black Lagoon, one of the exception series. I highly recommend also the English dub. Now, they're very similar but also very different at the same time. You get different point of views in some cases. Jormungand with Coco and My Wife Velmet. I love muscle girls so much. And Black Lagoon with Revi, also my wife. But if you haven't watched either of them, I highly recommend both of them if you like that that sort of thing. So check them out. Astra Lost in Space surprised me with how good it was, but also actually having a conclusion. Like, very rarely get this, especially nowadays. There's a lot of anime that need season 2, 3, 5, whatever. Very few of them actually are concluded, and in a very satisfying way. Great characters, great premise, this mystery that happens in space with somebody being the Amogus. Insert your emergency meeting meme here. I highly recommend this one if you like a space show with a mystery tied to it. It's very hard to describe it without giving anything away, but just now it has a conclusion, and that's a very, very big plus for a series like this, when you get an answer to the hook that gets you into it instead of being left hanging. So I highly recommend Astra Lost in Space. I would have liked to recommend also Roka Nayusha, Brave of the Sixth Flower, kind of the same vibes, just fantasy, but that one doesn't have a season 2. Now, similar to Astra Lost in Space a bit, but this one is more similar to ReZero. But in this case, another series with a conclusion, Summertime Rendering. This came as a shock, and I don't think a lot of people watched it, mainly because it was put in jail. you couldn't really watch it properly, but I highly recommend Summertime Rendering. Really fun if you like that concept of... I'm not gonna give it away. Just similar to ReZero. That's all I'm going to say on that front. Great characters, great premise, really interesting plot, good conclusion to it. Hot girls, especially. I wanna die by hammer. If you know, you know. But yeah, if you haven't watched Summertime Rendering, I highly recommend this series. Have you heard of World Trigger? If you haven't, I highly suggest you check it out, especially if you want something different from a fighting anime. Like, there are a lot of anime there that are focused on power-ups, on very strong main character, or the main character suddenly getting stronger over time, or overpowered main characters. Very few of them have a weak main character, but also done really well. In this case, World Trigger excels at that. But the strongest point to it is the world building, but also the fighting. Like, very technical fights. The power system is really well done, and these aren't fights that just end with an asp. Like, the strategy, the thinking of how to defeat your opponent, why were you able to defeat your opponent. I really like that aspect in fight, when they're more technical instead of just punching randomly or pulling an overpowered ability, which I like those things, but I also like something like this where World Trigger actually excels at. I would say Nen is very close to this one. Nen is probably the best power system in general in anime, but World Trigger comes close, and in some things it actually does it better. So I highly recommend World Trigger if you haven't check it out. And the animation improves, especially in the future seasons. There's a filler arc, which is okay, you can skip it if you want or not, but I do hope we're going to get at some point more World Trigger, a very, very underrated series. Those are pretty much the series I think are underrated. Maybe some of them are, some of them aren't, but I just want more people to check them out, talk about them a bit, especially some of the older ones, and I'm really curious. What do you guys think of this series here, and what other series do you think is underrated? More people should check it out. Have you watched any of these ones? What do you think of them? And as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot. You guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying anime. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.